provide the stability that life must be provided. But if I'm in that quadrant, I should not envy the person who has more than I have. If I'm in the quadrant where I'm high purpose but low platform, I must have respect for scale. Because people in that quadrant usually do not respect institutions. They have doubts about the capacity of both large private organizations and the government to make any difference to the world. So these are people who need to respect scale. If you want to fight malaria in a country, in a continent like Africa, in a country like India, you require the capacity of a Bill Gates. You require the money that comes with the Bill Gates Foundation, which means, like Mother Teresa said, you must have before you can give. So first you have to build a huge platform, like Bill Gates has built, like Narayana Murthy has built, like Azim Premji has built, before you start wanting to make a difference to the world. If you're in the high platform but low purpose life, you need to ask a fundamental question to yourself: how relevant you are to life? Can you be easily substituted by a long list of people wanting to get into your shoes? Because after all, we have the largest single middle class in the world, and for one person who lives there, 100 other people who are waiting to get into that person's shoes. And if you are in the last quadrant, which is about high platform and high purpose, you have to keep in mind that there is no instant gratification in that quadrant. There is nobody in that quadrant who has been able to do things overnight. It has taken a lifetime of work, a lifetime of passion, a lifetime of sustained affection for the work that you are doing. So all of us today in this room, in this institution, have the capacity to make an intelligent choice. But do keep in mind that life will sometimes rotate you across the quadrants. Let me share the story of the founder of Arvind Eye Hospital, Dr. Govindappa Venkataswamy. I don't know how many of you know about Dr. Govindappa Venkataswamy. He came from rural Karnataka. His family, like our principal was telling, Dr. Shatar was telling, was all that family owned was a buffalo, and early morning his mother would wake him up to take the buffalo to graze. From there he grew up. As he was growing up, one day everybody was crying in the village, and so as a young boy he wanted to know what has happened. Lo and behold, a young lady in the next house had died at childbirth, and this bothered him very deeply. He decided to be a doctor, and he decided to be a gynecologist, and he trained to be a gynecologist. But just as he joined the Indian Army as a gynecologist for the Army Medical Service, a rare form of arthritis permanently made all his fingers crooked. His fingers are like this, or were like this. So he could no longer be a gynecologist. So he was, your body is part of your platform. If your body tomorrow gives up, then you cannot have a high purpose. Here was an individual whose high purpose was to make a difference to other people, but his fingers were robbed. So what did he do? He retrained himself to be an ophthalmologist, to be an eye doctor. And all his life, he was a government eye doctor. At the age of 58, the government retired him. He was a bachelor. He could have just walked into the sunset, as people say. But no, he didn't do that. He said that in this country, people suffer from what is called needless blindness, blindness that is avoidable. So he said, I have to give my life to solve the problem of needless blindness. And what did he do? He started with a low platform but a high purpose, a 10-bed eye hospital. And Dr. Govindappa Venkataswamy in the process actually redesigned, you are an engineer so you should know, redesigned surgical tools so that with his crooked fingers he could still operate upon people who otherwise would become blind. The same Arvind Hospital today has done more than 2.4 million eye surgeries of which 70% of the eye surgeries were done free of cost. So this is a great example of an individual who destiny pushed down and was testing whether by reducing him to low platform, he would also reduce his high purpose to low purpose. So from time to time, destiny will test how serious you are about your purpose. So my friends, as you start life, look at your computer science department. Look at your educational institution. Tomorrow, look at your experience. Look at your earning capacity, not as your purpose, but as your platform. Your platform is not your purpose. Purpose is the impact you and I make over a lifetime, and that purpose is a matter of personal choice for all of us. With that, congratulations, sir, and congratulations, members of this teaching staff and members of the enabling functions here for making the 25 years possible. May I hope that I will also come by as part of the audience when you touch 50. So until then, goodbye.
Thank you, sir. The talk about the quadrants was really illuminating. The essence of the talk, life is all about choices, and our future is a consequence of the choices that we make today. Thank you so much.
I request Dr. Raj Shekhar to deliver the presidential speech.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Professional par excellence, Sri Subroto Bagchi, the Dynamic Principal, Dr. Ashok Shekhar, Professor Virada, Head of the Department of Computer Science, distinguished faculty of BVBCSE Engineering College, colleagues from Mindtree, distinguished invitees, and very, very dear students. I am extremely happy and proud to associate with this particular function of Silver Jubilee of Computer Science Department of BVBCSE Engineering College for more than one reason. I come here as a representative of Chairman of KLE Society. I come here at the request of the Secretary as well as the Principal of the BVB College. I also came very anxiously to meet Subroto Bagchi, whom I knew the last 2 years through my son who works in Mindtree. I've heard a lot about him through him many occasions about how important is this particular Mindtree company, which is different from many other companies in Bangalore and in India. I congratulate Dr. Shekhar and his colleagues for achieving an important milestone in the Department of Computer Science and celebrating Silver Jubilee of this department. I do not know how much of KLE Society is known to Subroto Bagchi. You are aware of both things, sir? No. Very good. Sir, we are a small town, big society of education. We are not propagandists in terms of blowing out so many things and so on and so forth, but we are consciously aware that our founder life members did an excellent job in 1960 with a great vision of spreading the knowledge in the most socially educational backward areas of North Karnataka. We just celebrated 95th Foundation Day on 15th November in Belgaum, and incidentally also felicitated our chairman, Dr. Kore, who finished